In this video, I will be showing you guys how do you go ahead and buy an SSL certificate for a very affordable price. If you follow me to the end of this video, I will show you a community of hackers where you can learn almost everything, including ATM hacking, social media accounts, and many more. Now, if you see my website right over here currently, it is showing it is not secure. That is because the SSL certificate has expired. Let me just go ahead and record the entire process on how to install it. So, let's say you have purchased your hosting from hostinger.com. You can also purchase the SSL certificate from hostinger.com as well. I will drop the link in the description below just in case. So if I click on SSL right over here, I can go ahead and purchase my SSL certificate, which is going to cost me this amount. But as a Policy Point subscriber, I can't pay such amounts. That's why in today's video, I'm not going to purchase it from hostinger.com because it is quite expensive. I know the amount is fine, but still I would call it quite expensive because I have another alternative. The cost of the SSL certificate would be somewhere around $50 or even more. So I'm going to tell you an alternative today. This alternative is very important, but this alternative requires a lot of technical steps which I prefer. So I want you guys to watch this video twice. Only then you will be able to connect to this video. So we are going to go to this website. I will also drop the link in the description below. So this is the website I'm going to go to. Now once I go to this website, there are different types of certificates over here. So usually the one which we go ahead with is Positive SSL. Now Positive SSL is available on Hostinger for this amount as you can see. But if you see the price over here, it says just $4. So let us see what the price is in the checkout. But apart from this Positive SSL, these are the different types of SSL too. All of this is not required. All of this comes with the company name in the browser. That is before this assistant, the company name would be there. So we are going to go with a simple Positive SSL, which is also available on Hostinger, but for a higher price. Now, when I'm buying it for 4 years, that time it is $4. But let's say I'm going to buy it only for 1 year. So once I'm buying it for 1 year, it is somewhere close to $7. And then I'm going to click on Checkout Now. So once I click on Checkout Now, it is going to ask for your email address so that you can go ahead and create an account. So let us quickly go ahead and create a new account over here. It will ask you for all of these details. So just enter all of these details and make the payment. Once you make the payment, I'll show you the procedure ahead. So if you guys see over here, the payment is already done. And now once the payment is done, you'll have to click on my SSL certificate. So all of your SSL certificates would reflect over here. Now you will have to go ahead and activate the SSL certificate. Now while activating the SSL certificate, you need to also prove the ownership of both. That means you need to give a confirmation that Karate is a domain name that belongs to you. So what are you supposed to do is click on Activate. Once you click on Activate, it is going to ask you for the domain name on which you want to install this SSL certificate. So I'm going to write the domain name. And once I write the domain name over here, it covers both www and non-www. So both are covered over here. So both of these are covered. And there are going to be basically 3 files. I want you guys to make a note of it. There are going to be 3 files that are going to be downloaded. The first file is going to be called a private key. So right over here, let me just make a note. So the first file is going to be called a private key. And then you have the second file, which will be called the CA bundle file. And the third file is going to be called the certificate. These are the 3 different files that you will be getting. Now, private key is something that you cannot have access to later. Private key you are going to get in this step. If I click on this, the private key is going to be downloaded. So as soon as I click on this, the private key is going to be downloaded. So I'm going to create a new folder over here. I'll call the folder whose SSL certificate is my folder name, and then I'm going to save the file right over here. So this is nothing but the private key. The first file that is being saved is called the private key, and then I'm going to click on Almost There. Once I click on Almost There, the other 2 files are going to be received a little later. Once you are going to verify that you own this particular domain name, how do you verify it? You can upload a validation file, but this procedure is very technical. I'm not going to get into uploading a validation file because then I will have to log in into the place from where I had purchased the domain name. Not even hosting, but the domain name place. So I'm not going to get into that. What I will do is, I'll click on Receive an Email at the domain inbox. So that is nothing, but I'll have to receive an email in one of these domain names email boxes. How do you create an email account in your cPanel? That is, if you click on Hosting. Once you click on hosting, if you click on your managed hosting, you will find something called an email account. So you'll have to get into email accounts, and that is where you create your email account. So I have already created an email account called as admin. So I'm going to click on this right over here, and I'm going to send an email to the admin, and then I'm going to click on submit. So once I click on submit, it will take somewhere around 5 minutes for me to receive the email. I'll have to verify that. And once I have verified it, the certificate is going to be issued. A certificate will consist of 2 different files, the CA bundle file and the certificate certificate file. So we'll wait for just 5 minutes for us to receive the mail over here. It has already come. So if you see, this is the mail that you are going to get over here. Now once you get this made, this is the validation code. I'm supposed to copy this particular validation code, and then I'll have to click right over here. Once I click right over here, I'll have to paste the code and then click on next. Once I click on next, so the verification is done. Now once the verification is done within 5 minutes, I'm going to be issued a SSL certificate. So let us wait for 5 minutes. You're going to receive the SSL certificate on the other mail ID that I had mentioned in gmail.com. So I'm going to get my SSL certificate over here. Otherwise, you can also download it from here itself. If you click on my SSL currently, it will be showing you as pending, but within 2 minutes, it is going to show you as active since I have already verified my email address. Now I have verified that it belongs to me. So that is how it works. The other method was uploading a validation file. I didn't choose the other method. So let us wait for 2 to 3 minutes and then it will show us how active. So once it shows us active, we can download our certificate and then I'll show you how to put it in your cPanel again. So let's wait for 2 minutes until it shows activity. So great. If you see, I have just reloaded the page after 5 minutes. Now my SSL certificate is showing. I'm going to click on download right over here. So once I click on download, then again, a zip file is going to be downloaded. I'm going to unzip this file. I'm saving it in the same folder. So let us go ahead and click on save. So once I click on save, so let me just quickly go over here. Let me unzip this file right over here. Just unzip it. Create. This will consist of 2 different files. One is the CCA file. So this is called the CA file, and this is called the certificate file. And the first one, which was downloaded earlier, was called your private key. So I'm going to unzip this as well. So this is going to be my private key file. Now these are the 3 different files that you must have. So once you have these 3 different files, you see your SSL certificate has been purchased from a different website and your hosting is on a different website. So my hosting is where my hosting is in Hostinger. Now I'll have to go back to my Hostinger account. Once I go back to my Hostinger account, I'll click on Hosting Manage. I'll get redirected to the cPanel, and also called as the Edge panel. Over here, I'm going to search for SSL. I'm going to search for SSL. Once I search for SSL, then right over here I can click on Get It Now, and then I'll get that SSL certificate. But remember the SSL certificate that I bought? It has cost me only somewhere around Rs 513. So I have already saved Rs 300, and I'm also making a video for you guys. So if you see over here, these are the 3 things that have to be filled. As I told you, these will be the 3 different things. Now let me just quickly go back over here. So first we are going to select the private key. I'm going to double click on this. Just don't try to read what exactly is the private key. Just copy this. Put it across right over here. All of these are nothing but quotes. So once we put it across right over here, 2 more files, see a bundle file and the certificate file. So let me go back over here. And this is the CA bundle file. I'm going to open it with a notepad file so you guys can right click on it. So this was the CA bundle file. I'm going to paste this right over here. The C bundle file. Let me go back over here. And this is the certificate file. These are the 3 different files. So open, I'm going to click on others. Once I click on another, I'm going to select the notepad file. So in Mac, it is text edit. So I'm going to search for text edit open. This is the certificate I'm going to copy right over here, and I'm going to paste it and then click on install. So once I click on install, this is how I'm going to install SSL certificate manually. So the reason why I went to SSL so that I could save some money, $300, is what I save. So this is successfully installed. Now once this is successfully installed, I'll go over here. I'll reload the page over here. I would still not see something called as secure because for that, I'll have to log in into the back end. It is all it has already come. But in case you are not able to see still HTTPS that is secure, that is because you will have to install a plugin called a really simple SSL. So if you install a really simple SSL, then it gets redirected to HTTPS. So remember, this is the entire procedure. This is the entire procedure of how do you go about it. SSL is placed from where I purchased the SSL certificates. Now you might charge your client Rs 1,500 for the SSL certificate, but you can come down to this website. You can buy a SSL certificate only for it has cost me Rs 513. So Rs 513. It was only somewhere close to $6, and once it is done, you see over here. Now my website is secure. So for 1 year, SSL certificate is done. If you buy it directly from hostinger.com, this entire procedure of the CA bundle file, certificate file, and the private key is not going to be there. But I want you to learn this technique because this is very important. It helps you to save a lot of money, okay? Let's say if you are charging your client $1,500, but if you can get the certificate at RSID 500, then why not? You should definitely go ahead and try that. And the plugin that I was talking about is nothing, but it's already installed in my back end. And so that is nothing but really simple SSL. So now to quickly just wind it, I'll just search for a session, which is a plugin. SSL Insecure Content Fixer is one of those plugins. Any one of those plugins should be fine. So now instead of not being secure, it is showing that a secured SSL certificate is successfully installed on my website. So now just to quickly rewind back that, what are the different things that you are supposed to do? First, just go to the website and then buy the SSL certificate by paying by debit card, credit card, or PayPal or whatever it is. Once you buy it immediately, they're going to be the first thing that is going to come is called your private key. Remember, you cannot get access to the private key afterwards, so make sure you save your private key in one of the folders. Once the private key is done, you'll have to click or create an email account called as admin at your domain name. Why is that email account required? So that you can go back and verify. You can go back and verify that you own this particular domain name only once you verify. The other two files are going to be released to you. That is nothing but the CA bundle file and the certificate file. Once all the three files are ready now, there is no use of SSL.com. If you want, you can close this. You can come back to this after 1 year when you want to renew your SSL certificate. Then you will have to go to your hosting panel. Once you go to your hosting panel and then click on the domain hosting, search for SSL and put across all the three files. Once you put across all the three files, the work is not yet done. The other thing is logging into the back end of your WordPress panel. Install the plugin with a really simple SSL, and then you will see that your website shows a secure connection. You might be wondering if you just saved RS300. You could have just directly purchased it from hostinger.com and you could have done it. RS300 saving is. But guys, it is important to learn and try to do it for 2 to 3 clients. Once you install an SSL certificate for 2 to 3 clients like this, then you will be a perfectionist in it. If you buy it from a hostinger, if you have enough money, you want to spend $1,500, go ahead and spend it. You need not do this entire process altogether. But yeah, learning is always good, and at least for one of the websites, try to do this procedure. Before we go, do you know that there's so much I can't share on YouTube, whether it's because of platform rules or because some skills need deeper hands-on explanations? Many of my videos got deleted, and that's why I created a Policy Point learning community for you, a place where I can share everything. When you join, you're not just getting another course, you're getting access to complete ethical hacking guides, the tools and techniques I wish someone had handed me when I was starting out. And here's the kicker. This is the stuff I don't teach on here. No watered-down content, no clickbait, just raw, actionable knowledge. On top of that, you'll join an exclusive community on Discord. I pinned the link in the comments section below, but it's not for everyone. The link is only available for those who are serious about the journey. So that's it from my end on how to install SSL certificates. Thank you, everyone. And if you think that this video was useful, just try to save this video and subscribe to Policy Point now. Policy Point.